metal. This is woodshop class, not metal class. So, let's talk. In woodshop class, as soon as we start working and we're done with any paperwork, warm-up type things, we're always going to be putting on our goggles straight away, and we're going to be leaving those on for the entire time. Even if you are not doing something, other people around you are going to be using tools, and we got to keep those eyeballs safe, and that means keeping those goggles on our face. Oh, Steve, do you need this screwdriver? Here you go. Oh, Karen. Oh, that was a bad idea, throwing tools. I think I'm gonna need to go to the hospital now. Let's not throw tools next time. Hopefully I'll be all right. As you can see, horsing around, running, MMA, wrestling, and just doing things where you're messing with other people or moving a little too quickly in shop class is gonna be dangerous. So let's think smart, slow it down, keep your hands to yourself, and when in doubt, if you think it might be dangerous, don't do it. For any new tool, be a hand tool or a power tool, you are always gonna have the teacher watch you the first time you use it. Don't just rely on watching your friends and think you can use it safely. Have the teacher watch you the first time you use it. They will give you some guidance on how to use that properly so you don't get hurt.
It is a fire hazard we keep hearing about in America from a very common product. A week ago, it happened at a restaurant. It happened at a home. Fire starting without even a spark, and the cause, linseed oil, the oil used to preserve wood. It can happen in a split second, and ABC's Elizabeth Leamy sends out an alert tonight.
My neighbor across the alley, their house is exploding.
Devastating fires. A week ago in Illinois. The week before that, Massachusetts. But like this blaze in Washington, D.C., they were caused without a spark. The flames started by themselves. It is the danger of linseed oil, a wood stain and sealant found in every hardware store. We're going to show you how it happens, tossing some linseed oil-soaked rags and newspapers into a box. That's exactly what Mike and Sherry Prentice of Cincinnati did.
I had put it sort of folded on itself into a corner of the garage.
Suddenly, they were fighting for their lives.
There were flames shooting 30 feet into the sky.
In our experiment, after just an hour, the linseed-soaked rags have reached 110 degrees. 2 hours in, we spot smoke. Linseed oil is safe for wood because you spread it out, but left on wadded-up rags or paper, the oil is so concentrated that it heats up as it evaporates. Some experts say take linseed oil-soaked rags and spread them out on your driveway until they are totally dry. Want to be even more cautious? Get a metal can, fill it up with water, dump the rags in, and seal it up. It's been a little over 3 hours now, and suddenly we see flames. And remember, all with no outside spark. Elizabeth Leamy, ABC News, Washington.
As y'all saw, oily rags can be dangerous. We're gonna put them in here. Here in shop class, we love being organized. As you can see, I'm a little bit crazy about putting things back in the right spot. So, put things back when you are done. This is gonna help keep the classroom more safe so we don't have tools all over the tables in messy places. And you know, when stuff gets too much stuff on the table, you end up with stuff like hanging off the table like this one. And people get hurt like that, right? And that would not be fun. So when you are done with a tool, put it back. If you ever see a tool that's not working properly before you put it back, also get it fixed. Talk to your teacher about putting it back together properly so that the next person has a tool that is in good working condition. Here at this school, we are cheap. We like to save money, and wood costs money. So whenever you have a scrap of wood that looks like somebody could still make something out of it, let's save that piece of wood And here is all the soft wood. This is all the cheaper wood that most projects are gonna be made out of to start with. That's gonna go in this bin here, and you can see there's some great stuff in here. Here you can see the bin that is made for hardwood. The hardwood that we use in this class is gonna be more expensive, and we're gonna wanna really save that stuff. So any pieces that are left over, we're gonna put back in this bin. And most of the time, the larger pieces are gonna be kept in this cage here, where you're not gonna be going in there. Mr. Gasser here is gonna help you get those pieces if you need something out of there. So stay out of there unless you get special permission. Tools like this are meant to be able to be repaired. That means they come apart. So if you ever have a tool that's coming apart or seems like it has some loose things on it, do not continue to use it. Stop and get help, and we'll put it back together so it's going to work properly. Do not continue to use tools that are going to be potentially dangerous for you. The same thing goes to power tools when we start talking about those. If something seems like it's not working right, it's probably not. And one of your best ways to tell for all tools is kind of listen. You'll kind of hear what tools should sound like as you start to use them and as your teacher demonstrates them for you. And if something isn't sounding quite right or it's a little too difficult, you should stop, get some help, and make sure that tool is working properly. Anytime we're using a tool, we do not want to force the piece of wood in there, be it a hand tool like this one or a power tool like this one. If you end up pushing the wood into the machine too hard and you're really forcing it, that means something's not working properly, but that means also you're gonna be in a more dangerous position. If you're pushing really hard, that means you could slip and fall into that machine and lose some fingers or lose something else you like a little bit. So any tool, if you are forcing it and having to do a lot of work, let's be lazy and see if we can find an easier way. When cleaning, we also want to use the right tool for the job. So let's not sweep off these sometimes dirty tables with just our hands. We could get splinters or something in our hand we don't like and it could hurt, And so we have these great things called brushes or brooms. They're over there that you can use to sweep off the tables. And we have these dustpans to collect all those goodies that need to go into the, you guessed it, trash can. That was a tough one, I know. Quiz on that, definitely. Sometimes in woodshop class, it might be a little chilly as we get into the winter time, but we are still going to need to keep loose clothing tied back or roll up those sleeves or get it out of the way so that it cannot get wrapped up in a machine or a tool of any sort, because sometimes if you get some loose clothing stuck in there, it can suck you in and that's not good. The same thing goes for long hair. So if you got long, luxurious hair, like I do, of course, right? You're gonna have to tie that up, or I got some scissors. I can come by and cut them off if you want. Sometimes in class, you might be needing to wash your hands. You're always welcome to wash your hands in here. If you ever do get something in your eyes, we have a eye washing station here to rinse out those eyes. All you gotta do is pop that off and squirt it in your eyes like the little picture says there. Obviously it'll take your goggles off to do that. And if we ever get water or any other liquids on the floor, we're gonna wanna wipe that up right away because I almost slipped there because somebody didn't wipe something up. So a clean workspace is going to be a safe workspace as we mentioned before here. So wipe up any spilled liquids, be it any finishes you're using, even glue, that needs to get wiped up too, because we don't want to make a mess on our nice gluing table here. All the gluing is going to be done over here. And while we're over here, this flammable cabinet, this is going to have a lot of the finishes that we're going to be using in this class. I'll just show you in here right now because you're going to want to look in here because fire is cool, right? But just stay out of here. We're not going to be needing anything in here. I will be getting anything out of there if you need it. All right? Even if you got some Sometimes you come to school and you got that new nails done, you got toes done maybe, and you want to show them off with your flip-flops or something. That's not going to be allowed in woodshop class because we have sharp things in here, and sometimes they fall off the table and they can fall on your feet and be dangerous and hurt yourself. So every day when you're getting ready for school, you gotta put on real shoes, closed-toed shoes. As you can obviously tell, Mr. Gasser is like the strongest human alive. Basically stronger than Arnold Schwarzenegger and, you know, all those other super strong people. But, you know, I even wouldn't want to lift some of these pieces of wood by myself. So when you're lifting something that looks heavy, always get help and always lift with your knees, not with your back. So keep that back straight, going straight down, just like so.